Andy Mueller, and I'm a graphic designer, photographer, and art director here in Los Angeles. I work for Lakai Footwear, and I also run another company called The Quiet Life. The Quiet Life started way back in 1997 when I was living in Chicago. Prior to that, I had been running a little design studio called Ohio Girl. And basically what happened is, I was doing a lot of music packaging and started doing some action sports. And really what happened was there were a lot of graphics that I liked, that some of the companies, whether it was a band or snowboard, skateboard company, they weren't buying some of the graphics. And I thought to myself, hey, I should just put these out myself and make a label. So it really just sort of happened from being an artist and having an excess of designs that I felt strongly about that some other people didn't care for, and that was the birth of The Quiet Life. So give me a second here. This is insane. So part of what I do is I'm an art director, a graphic designer, and a photographer. And so with Lakai in particular, I'm the guy who drew the Lakai logo. Like I'm the guy who drew this out of my Chicago studio in the early '99, and then I moved to Los Angeles to work full-time for Girl and Lakai in November of '99. So I've worked for them for almost 17 years, I guess, 16, 17 years. And The Quiet Life has always been the side project, the hobby. And I mentioned earlier that I was running a design firm in Chicago, and it was me and two other guys. And we all threw names into a hat. And my friend Craig Champion, on his list, he had The Quiet Life. And I was just instantly drawn to it. And it sort of just erased all the other names. And that the words just seemed like it really represented what we were about. We were trying to do something out of the Midwest and now out of LA since '99, but it just seemed to really represent the truth to the brand. And from the very beginning, we've never really had a direct plan of how to get from A to B. We've just gone from A to B. In terms of growing the brand, there hasn't been one, and I'm sort of proud of that. I mean, that kind of cuts both ways, where in some ways you might be better off to have a clear business plan and have some investors or something and just kind of get there right away. But it's definitely been a 17-year labor of love and hobby and experiment, and we've had some ups and some downs, and but overall we're still here and we're still cranking and still love it. Having the store is such an amazing connectivity to not only our local community here in Highland Park, but it's LA at large, and we get people stopping in from all over the world. So this guy right here is Sander Studio, and he's from Japan. And every once in a while, about once a year, we'll do a design contest where we're opening up the creativity to the whole world, and we'll post a contest, design a t-shirt, just send us, it's sort of an open forum. And this is an artist that we would have never heard of otherwise, that we met from Japan, that submitted this crazy cat drawing that said Quiet Life on it, and he was one of the 4 winners that season. And I had no idea that his drawings were actually based on his ceramic work. And so when he sent us this stuff in the mail, I couldn't believe it, like how rad these cat drawings or these cat sculptures are. And this little photo one is amazing. I love how this is a pencil holder here, and I love how he wrote The Quiet Life on his t-shirt, where it's just so rad to get letters and trade art with people all over the world. So here's one from Sander that I really like. I need to frame this one. We love collaborations. We probably don't do as many as we should or could, but really the reasoning is we just do them when they're appropriate and when they're true and when they come to us and when it feels right and when the project sort of materializes from our end and the artist's end. This hat, I'm psyched on this hat. This is a guy named Luke Day from Australia. I have not met him in person. He's more of an Instagram email pen pal, and I'm pretty sure he's another guy that we met through one of our crazy drawing contests a couple years ago. But Luke just crushes it every time. He just sends us submissions all the time, and this hat's coming out in fall 16, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It's cool. This smoking girl is pretty rad. We've had a couple collaborations that took a couple years to bring to market, that's a long time, but at the end I feel like the project is stronger from going slow and making sure the samples are good and the art's good and everything lines up. We always consider the brand to be designed first. Like a lot of feedback we get is like, oh, if you're making a jacket, you should just always have a black jacket and then have a crazy color. Well, sometimes we just have the crazy color. We do 4 seasons a year. We're running them like a pretty traditional company. We're always making hats and new cut and sew and new t-shirts. So here you're looking at some of the prototypes that I'm trying to figure out for spring 17. We've been using Liberty fabric for a long time. So here's a new one that we might release. Making a lot of dad hats and polo hats, and working on, the perma-curved bill and whatnot. But yeah, people are always like, how do you do all this? And really, I just love graphic design. I love photography. My job, luckily, is my hobby, and my hobby is my job. And so I work on it in the morning, I work on it at night. I focus on Lakai all day long. It's like, luckily it hasn't been an issue. It's like I'm just able to create. I like to make things, and it's just been it's gone fast. It's been a quick 16 years, for sure. The hope for the brand is to just keep doing what we're doing. I mean, I guess that's everybody's goal, is to keep the commodity going so that we can exist and stay in our space. And we're really proud of our track record and proud of our history, and hopefully we can just keep this thing rolling.